morning, class. I am Joyce Kalayan and I'll be your teacher. So please stand up and um, arrange your chair and prepare yourself and check if there's any garbage under your chair and throw it to the trash can. Okay, please settle down. Today, before we start with our discussion, with our proper discussion, I would like to start with an activity. So you can guys have a brainstorming activity. So this activity consists a 7 group. So in a 7 group, you will be given a jumble words. It's very common activity, right? In this activity, you just have to correct the words that was given to you. Okay? And I'll be the one who's collecting the said activity. Okay? So after collecting the activity, these are the answers of my students. We have the legends, riddles, folk tales, and proverbs. Okay, class, let's give a clap. In this clap, you have to punch left and right, then sway your hands and say boom, amazing. Okay, let's do it. Pow, pow, boom, amazing. Pow, pow, boom, amazing. Okay, that's it. Okay, very good. So our objectives for today is the end of the 45 minutes session, the students are expected to understand the different literary forms during the pre-colonial period. And second, describe the different genres during the pre-colonial period. And the last one, appreciate the literary forms during the pre-colonial period. Our topic for today is about pre-colonial period. So, you all know that we've been colonized by the Spaniards, right, students? But before that happened, the other countries have been influenced us during that time. We've been influenced with we've been influenced by the um, Malaysian, Chinese, and other foreign countries during that time. It was because of exchanging goods, doing tradings and exchangings of people or services. And as can you see, we have the three types of literary forms. We have folk speech, folk songs, and folk narratives. So first we have the riddles. So riddles is the pre-colonial period in the Philippines, known as bugtong bugtong. Okay, in this we were popular form of oral literature. Okay, the riddles is composed of two or one with a 4 or 12 syllables. Have proverbs. In proverb, it is also known as sawikain in our Tagalog language. It is traditional sayings that it shows values, beliefs, and wisdoms that proverbs offer guidance and lessons to our Filipino and oral life during this time. Next, we have the Tanaga. Of course, in the Philippines, Tanaga is the Filipino poem, similar to Japanese haiku characters. It is a composed of lines with conveying a message or describing a sense of true, sincere, and language and metaphor. Now we move to folk songs. Under folk songs, we have the lullaby. This lullaby, also known as hele, it was cherished part of our Filipino culture, passed down through generations, of course. Next, we have the harana. Harana, you all know what's harana, class. This is very common during the pre-colonial period because it was when we are courting someone and we are um, like someone, we tend to uh, make a harana for them. We go to their houses during at night and through the window we sing our songs to know that we are interested to them. Next, we have the work song. Okay. in work song, these are usually common songs that we usually listen. It is our daily lives. We do this like we listen to the music we like every day, or listening to the music in radio. Now, in epic, it is a epic poem for significant part of the rich oral traditions. This long narrative um, celebrated heroic figures and historical events. Okay, so now let's move to fables. In fables, it is known as cuento or a short story. After that, featuring animals and plants and human-like threats. It is also conveying moral lessons or life privileges, and these fables are part of the larger body of Philippines. Okay, next we have the well, tales. In folk tales, we have a lot of folk tales. It is passed also generations to generations. It is literally primarily oral with the folk tales serving as the key forms of storytelling. It also conveying a moral values and represents the good deeds in in our life. Now you understand what the difference of folk speech, folk songs, and folk narratives. Okay. Now we were having another activity. This activity consists of four groups. In this activity, you just have to identify. You just have to identify which picture is belong to. For example, um, bugtong-bugtong belongs to the uh, folk speech. You just have to attach the pictures uh, in the in the in the construction paper in this given construction paper. Okay, so this group consists on the four groups, like I said, and you have to prepare a yell for me to notice if you are done with the said activity. Okay? So the group 1, group 2, group 3, and group 4. Okay. So you have at least 10 minutes to finish the said activity. Okay? Okay, very good. Ito lang. Now, after the activity, we are now checking the answers of your activity. Okay, these answers of the group 1. In here, we can see that they have finished the activity. So first, let's check the folk speech. Folk speech, of course, Bugtong Bugtong belongs to the folk speech, right? Am I correct? Am I right? Yes, correct, exactly. How about the Bahay Kubo? Is it correct? Okay, correct. Bahay Kubo, it belongs to folk songs. Amazing. That's very amazing class. Okay. How about the folk narrative? So folk narrative, let's check the turtle and the monkey. Do you think it's correct that the turtle and the monkey it belongs to folk narrative? Okay, correct. Very good. Bugtong Bugtong belongs to the folk narrative. How about the group 2? Let's check the work of the group 2. So folk speech. Okay, we have here the poems. So these poems belongs to folk speech. Is it correct, class? Okay, very good. It's correct. How about the folk songs? Pong Pong Ginatubang. Okay. Do you think it is belong to the folk songs? Exactly, very good. It is belong to the folk songs. How about the the next we have the folk narratives. So in the folk narratives we have Pandesal Save the Day. This is a story of about the children's stories um about the Pandesal. Okay, it's correct. Amazing class. You have a good answer. Now you understand the difference of types of literary forms. I would like you to ask some questions. These questions, it is a um, based on your opinions or thoughts about this. So the question is, why do you think we need to study pre-colonial period of literary forms during that time? Yes, student one. Exactly, very good. Now we study because we need to embrace or appreciate our um, traditions, our values as a person. It shows us who we really are. Okay, it shows our identity as a persons. Okay, when we go to the other countries, we recognize us as we are, as a Filipino, because we have the identity to show them or embrace them our um, cultures or values as a Filipino. Okay? Hindi nga ng question tayo. Okay, very good. Or there's another questions for you, class. These questions is somehow bring you to the thought of if you ever given a chance to experience to go back in the past, would you like to um, give it a chance to explore what life it is in the past? Oh, yes, student two. Okay, exactly. So, okay, very good. So, of course, we grab the opportunity to really learn what's really happening in the past, right? Because we wanted to know the the past and what's really happened in the past. Because it really mold us today and embrace us of how Filipino become you know uh, values in this generations because we've been we've been adapt by by the technology by modernizations generations today. So it's really hard for us to appreciate more our past, even though we sometimes even though sometimes we know that it's kind of boring, but we still have to learn and appreciate what uh, what our past bring us in today's um, generations. It's embrace our identity, values, and beliefs as a Filipino. Class, understand? If there's any clarifications or questions regarding of our discussion today, you can raise your hands. Don't be shy. Um, I'm your teacher, and I'm very happy if someone's approach me and ask me some questions regarding about this topic. Okay, okay, class. You have and there's no any clarifications or questions. Okay, so of course I have to test your understanding of the lessons. please get one part of sheet of paper and choose choose any any literary forms or folk speech, folk songs, or folk narratives, and why it is important in today's generations. At least two sentence is required. Okay. Okay. So for the evaluation, I do the for the evaluation, I do the true or false um assessment to test if they really understand the the lesson that I'm presented in the class. Okay, class. See you tomorrow. Class dismissed.